We're diving into the Sump and building a Sump pirate crew for our new Necromunda Sump Seas campaign at Old Guard Games. This time on JD in the Sump Sea. Welcome back to JD in the Sump Sea. I'm Jay, and today we're using Munda Manager and diving into some bits to make a Sump Pirate Gang. And if you like Sump Pirates in Necromunda, kit bashing, and online Necromunda gang building tools, then make sure you bust out your Warhammer and smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so you don't miss any of our videos. Now back to the Sump. So I keep hearing about Munda Manager, but I've never used it before, so I figured I'd give it a shot and create a gang on Munda Manager for the first time. So let me sign up for the service, because I haven't done that yet. Okay, and I'm in. So let's see. What do I want to do? Well, obviously I want to create a gang. I could create a campaign, but let me just see if I can build this gang from the beginning. So let's build a gang. The gang type, it is going to be an Outcast gang. There we are. Gang affiliation. So we're choosing House Goliath for the gang affiliation because the idea is the leader of the gang is an escaped Ogryn slave from House Goliath. So we will use the House Goliath weapons and whatnot, which makes a lot of sense. So starting credits, we're going to just do this without the boat. Now there is going to be a boat in the gang, but we'll worry about that later. What do we have here for pictures? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Gang name. What did I call these guys? Oh yeah, his name, the leader, is Bullflay. So this is Bullflay's Corsairs. There we go. Let's create the gang. Goliath. There we go. Oh, it didn't remember that I was... Okay, that's strange. Anyway, we'll create the gang. Alright, so Bullflay's Corsairs. Let's probably click on them, and then we can, here we go, we can add some fighters. So let me add a fighter. We're going to start with, the leader is actually a vendor, so let's see if we've got, we don't have that option. Let me try it again. Include custom fighter types. Okay. Can I do this? When enabled, your custom fighter types will be included in fire program. Only custom fighters matching this gang type will be shown. Okay, so we're going to have to edit the leader's characteristics because we're basing him off of a vendor Ogryn leader. So I have to pull up the PDF, Bone Dry and Broke, which is the new vendor rules. Ogryn Hunt leader is 155, so we'll have to adjust it by 30 credits. So we'll increase by 30. Alright. Not sure what this means, so we'll do this. We're going to need to adjust the characteristics. So the movement is only going to be 5. Weapon skill is 3+. Ballistic skill is 5+. Strength is 5. Toughness 5. 3 wounds. Initiative's actually a 3+. Attacks are 3. Leadership is only an 8. It's not that great. Cool is a 5. Willpower is a 9. And intelligence is an 8. There we go. We're going to go Ogryn Legacy. Don't know if that's going to matter, if it's just going to be a... Yeah, okay. That's fine. Alright, we're going to confirm that and we'll see what happens. Looks like that has successfully modified it. Excellent. So let's look at what do we want to give him. So he's going to have equipment. Let's add some equipment. We want to give him, what is it? Furnace plates and armored undersuit. So personal equipment, armored undersuit, and then armor. Let's see if we've got furnace plates. We do. We'll buy furnace plates. And then for a weapon, we want a shock stave and a stub cannon. So let's see here. Basic weapons, stub cannon. Close combat weapons. Shock stave is what I'm looking for. Shock stave. There it is. I like that the stats for the weapon pop up here so you can see what they do before you buy them. I like that. Alright. And then, great. We just have to give him some skills. So let's close that. And let's give him skills. We want to give him Bull Charge. Bull Charge is... where's Bull Charge? I think it's in Brawn. Yeah, I was right. Bull Charge. There we go. Brawn. He has no advancements, lasting injuries. Notes. We should probably add that he has the Brawler archetype. Brawler archetype. And with Outcasts, a Brawler archetype gives you a Brawn skill as a primary. So that's why I gave him the Bull Charge. I bought the Warhammer Underworlds Black Powders Buccaneers box a while ago because I loved the idea of an Ogryn pirate captain in Necromunda. Well, I finally opened the box for this project and I'm going to be assembling the Ogryn. These Underworld boxes come with only a few fighters, usually, and this one had just the Ogryn and 4 little guys, a monkey, a bird, and 2 goblins. The models in these boxes have everything, fit on 2 sprues, even the bases. These models are for the Warhammer Underworlds game, so they come with additional rules cards that I don't really have a use for. I did want to look at the instructions, which were sealed in with the cards, and I had to cut them out. I started removing the bits from the sprue, and one of the things about these models is that they have some really oddly shaped bits because of the design process. These are all designed in a computer program, so it makes a lot of sense in the program, but once you try to assemble the model designed this way, you get all sorts of strangely shaped parts that you really need the instructions for. And also, you need to do a lot of dry fitting because it's not obvious how these things go together. Another thing these models have are long pins that fit into long tubes, and I just really don't like this, so I cut off most of the pins because it's so hard to line them up straight. They designed them like this to advertise the fact that these are push-fit models, which don't require glue. This guy I wanted to mount on a regular Necromunda base. The base size would be an Ambot size, so I had to remove his right foot from the base he was intended to be mounted on. His right foot was molded into the base, so I cut it out and would add green stuff to it later. He's standing with his left foot up and on something on the original base, so I had to make something for him to stand on his new base. I took a Necromunda barricade and cut it up into some smaller pieces. I initially tried him standing on a larger piece before realizing a smaller section of the barricade looked better. At this point I decided I needed to bust out the green stuff. I worked a decent sized ball in my fingers and used it to fill in his right foot before gluing him down to the base. His left arm was the stock arm with the gun the box came in, representing a stub cannon, and his right arm would be a conversion, which you'll see later. Next, let's add a champion. So, how do I go back to Corsairs? It looks like I do. Cool. So let's add a fighter. We're going to add a Outcast champion. And use list of cost for rating. Alright, and fighter's name. This guy's going to be called Bootbrain. One word, brain. Bootbrain. So now, Bootbrain, this is one of my champions. This guy actually, so one of the cool things about Benjamin's campaign is that he's added in the mutation chart from the mutant PDF, the Outcast mutant PDF, because if you're in the sump for a long time, you might get some mutations. So Bootbrain, I gave a mutation of Vast Bulk so that he can get an additional toughness. Or, I mean, an extra wound. So we're going to add an extra wound to him. He's going to start with 3 wounds. And we're not going to change anything else, though. Right, so we're just going to confirm that. Equipment. What did I give him? He has furnace plates. So let's give him furnace plates. Because again, we're a Goliath Outcast Gang. We're going to give him a exotic beast. We want to give him a Necromunda Giant Rat, because they're cool. He has a bolt gun as well, so basic weapon is a bolt gun. We're going to buy a bolt gun. And I think that's all he has. Yeah, he has a psychic power as well. He's a psyker. So he has... Oh, let's see here. Word powers. Ooh, mutations. Cool. Outcast mutations. By simply selecting his mutation here, which I don't know where it is. Oh, maybe I have to scroll down now. Vast bulk. That's it. We'll add the skill Vast bulk. But he also has other things. He has Foreboding, which is a divination psychic power. Word powers. Divination. Foreboding. There we go. I like the divination psychic powers because it lets you reroll one die per game, so that could come in very handy, especially because his bolt gun has an ammo check of a 6+, so not great. But if you can reroll it, then maybe it's not so bad. Plus, I gave him a rat because why not? It's fun. So there we go. Except for the Ogryn leader and the Dome Runner hanger-on, all of the champions and gangers are built from the same base, the Cultists III box from Frostgrave. I got this as soon as I could because I really liked the look of the kits. I got this kit off of badgergames.com, so if you want to check out badgergames.com, enter our code JD2026, you'll really help out the channel, and you can pick up this kit from online and get it delivered anywhere in the world. Where I picked out a body for my champion Bootbrain, and then I cut it from the sprue. One of the things about these models is that they all have small ovular bases attached to their feet. This is fine if the base you want to glue them down to is blank, but I'm gluing these to Necromunda bases, which have 3D detail already. After cutting the body from the sprue, I would have to cut the base from the feet. Since this champion is a mutant with vast bulk, giving him 3 wounds, I knew I needed to do something to make him bigger than the average human-sized model. I wanted to make his torso bigger than the cultist's torso, so I had to cut off the torso from the legs. Many years ago, in 3rd and 4th edition 40k, I made a bunch of mutants for the Lost and the Damned army list from the Codex Eye of Terror. This was one of the mutants that I made for that list. I thought he would be a good fit for Bootbrain, so I cut his torso off of his legs. His torso was an orc torso, which was perfect. I then had this one last Goliath that I'd never painted, and he had a bolter, which was one of the weapons I gave Bootbrain, so I figured I could use his handed bolter on Bootbrain. I cut the Goliath arms just below the elbow, and then cut the arm in half from the mutant. They fit together perfectly, and then I glued the whole thing together and then onto the base. I had to add details, so I started with this cool cape I found in my bits box. I then glued other pouches and things to his waist. Then I tried various other arms and poses before settling on combining the Goliath's other forearm, the orc shoulder and elbow, and a spear from the Cultist III box, which would represent a grab hook. I then used a giant rat that Josh from Old Guard Games printed for me as Bootbrain's pet, Ripjaw. Okay, well, let's add another fighter. We're going to add another champion. Alright, gotta give him a name. So, Reynard is his name. We're going to add fighter. And Reynard has... what does Reynard have? He has Precision Shot is his skill, so let's just do that real quick. Precision Shot is probably in shooting. It is Precision Shot. His equipment, we gave him Furnace Plates, like all the other ones. Because for 5 credits, you can't beat Furnace Plates. So he is the long-range heavy dude, heavy stubber. There we go. Done. Alright. The fighter notes, again, his archetype should be a gunslinger. Alright, let's go back. Now that we've got basically our 4 main characters, we then go and have to just make a bunch of regular guys. That's the thing about Outcast gangs. You just make a bunch of regular guys. You do your leaders, your champions, and then you just do a whole bunch of random guys, because you need as many fighters as possible. Really, I don't like to start a gang with less than 8 fighters. 8 fighters is kind of the number of fighters to help you out when you're taking bottle checks. So if you have 8 fighters, you have to lose 3 before you can fail a bottle check at all. So if you lose 2 during a game, it doesn't matter about the bottle check. So let's give Drangle some stuff. So Drangle has reclaimed auto pistol. Reclaimed auto pistol. And then he also has a weapon that's not in the book here. He has a grab hook. So that's another weapon that Benjamin created, a grab hook. It's actually pretty cool. It's got a 2-inch versatile range. Its damage is only 1. It has an AP. It has no AP. It has disarm, melee, and versatile. So yeah, so you basically have a 2-inch range. You can attack somebody. Costs 15 credits. So maybe custom assets here is the right thing. Let's go and take a look at the custom assets real quick here. Custom assets. Equipment. Haha, okay, let's try this. Grab hook. This is one of the things I really liked about Yak Tribe, was the ability to create custom weapons and fighters. So that's pretty great. Cost is 15. Alright, fine. We'll use this. 15. We'll have to add a profile. So this is grab hook. Grab hook. Range. Short range. E. Long range. 2 inches. Accuracy short. There's nothing there. And nothing there. Strength is as user, I believe. Yep, strength is as user. AP, there's no AP. Damage is, of course, 1. It'd be weird if it was something else. There's no ammo. Check, because it's not a close it's not a ranged weapon. Traits, it has disarm. So disarm, melee, versatile, and unwieldy. Alright, let's create that equipment. Awesome. Okay, let's go back to my gangs and see if I can't buy him one of those. So Drangle. Alright, now let's add a close combat weapon. A grab hook. There it is. Bam! That's fantastic. Alright, so Drangle's done. Let's go to the next guy. Again, I do this all the time with Outcast gangs, is that I just buy the fighter, give them a weapon, and say, go. I don't give them any armor or anything else. Just like a gun of some sort. So that's another thing about Outcasts. You can't get any specialist to start at the begin at gang creation, so you just have to hope that you're doing okay there. But what you don't get specialists, but what you do get is you do get a champion for every 3 guys. So for every 3rd guy you can have an additional champion. I think that's fine. This guy with the vast bulk, I think I'm going to have to edit him. I am going to edit his wounds again, so we're going to adjust him up another 10 credits. And then we are going to adjust his wounds as well, because he should have 3 wounds. What we want to actually do is we want to do a hanger-on. Yeah, so what we're doing with the hanger-on is we're actually adding a dome runner. Where are the dome runners? There we go, Dome Runner. And the Dome Runner is going to have a long last. Hey, they updated it already, which is excellent. So yeah, the Dome Runner has a long last. Only costs 20. His name is Grig. There we go. He's going to have a fighting knife. Alright. And that's it. That is the gang. Cost $9.90. That's the gang. We have Bullflay, Bootbrain, Ripjaw, Reynard, Drangle, Drobna, Flink, Gornat, Gruzzle, Saltar, Slip, and Grig. I then also have a boat that I made, but I'm not going to build the boat in Munda Manager, but that was my experience building a gang in Munda Manager. So what did I think of my first experience with Munda Manager? Well, there are a few things I can say. I've used Yak Tribe for many years, and more recently I tried Gyrink's app, and I did a video using Gyrink's app, which you can watch here. Compared to Yak Tribe, it is simpler and more intuitive, and its output looks more like Yak Tribe than Gyrink's app, which is great if you want to create gang cards that look like the official Games Workshop ones. Compared to Gyrink's app, Munda Manager also has custom fighter and custom item creation, so that's definitely a plus. I haven't yet tried Munda Manager's campaign system, so that is a hole in my knowledge as far as how Munda Manager does campaigns. I know Gyrink's app does campaigns very thoroughly, and everything you do in a campaign you can write down notes about it, and so that you know and remember why you did what you did. Munda Manager, you can adjust experience and characteristics very easily though. It stands out from both other online creation tools in that if you hover over an item, you'll actually see the characteristics and the stats of that item, so it makes buying war gear items from the trading post much easier because you don't have to go look up something from a PDF or a book or some other website to figure out what that item does. You simply see it right away, and you can decide whether you want to buy it or not. So, which online app should you use to build a gang with? Well, Yak Tribe has been around longer, so it has a larger install base, and there's a lot of information out there about how Yak Tribe works. Yak Tribe is quite powerful, and you can create anything that you want, from custom vehicles, fighters, and items, to war gear, or you can even do campaigns in Yak Tribe as well. It doesn't have the most up-to-date rules, however, so that is definitely a negative. They stopped updating it just after the Ash Waste rules came out, so it is quite old as far as what's in there and what isn't. Gyrink's is more built out and up-to-date. Built out meaning that if you were to create an Outcast gang in Gyrink's app, you could select any of the Outcast leader profiles, or you could select any other character that exists in Necromunda simply from a pull-down menu. That makes it a lot smoother, and Gyrink's has all the official fighters, all the official weapons, war gear, items, and vehicles in there. Munda Manager does have vehicles and custom vehicles, and you can create any weapon from scratch, and you can also make custom fighters. It is also very fast. A negative with Munda Manager, however, is that if you were to select mutations, for example, for your fighters, it doesn't adjust the characteristics if that mutation would adjust characteristics of the fighter. It also doesn't update the points cost of the fighter when giving it that mutation. I think Munda Manager is the easiest tool to use for a new Necromunda player, and I would recommend it for new players 100%. I think if you need a tool that can do anything, literally anything, you're going to want to use Yak Tribe. However, if you want access to all of the official rules, then Gyrink's app may be the way to go, especially if you want to run your campaigns online. Gyrink's app is great for that. So I hope you liked my look at Munda Manager. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Which is your favorite online Necromunda gang creation tool, and have you used Munda Manager yet? Because it is a pretty new one, as is Gyrink's app. I also hope you liked my Pirate Outcast gang. You'll be seeing more of them very soon. But that's all I've got for you this time, and as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.